Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to our live training teaching you all about how to build your speaking business beyond the stage. So we're so glad that you're here joining us. I know that you're busy, know that you have a lot going on, but again, honor that you are here. My name is Grant, and I am the founder of the Speaker Lab, and today I'm going to be walking you through exactly how to build your business beyond the stage. So whether you're brand new, just getting started, and you're doing maybe a couple of speaking gigs, and you're trying to figure out how you can start to kind of expand that beyond just speaking, or you're someone who's been doing a lot of speaking and you're trying to go beyond just speaking, wherever you're at in your speaking journey, we're glad that you are here. Now, we're going to get started here just a couple minutes right at the top of the hour, but we have a lot of people who are registered. So I wanted to hop on here a couple minutes early and say hey to you. So let's do this. If you would, go ahead and drop in the chat. Let me know who you are and where you're from. All right. So I'm Grant. I'm in Nashville. So I'll just put Grant in Nashville. So put down who you are, where you're from. So again, we can say hey to you, and don't be shy. All right, I want to know who you are. I want to know who all is joining us. I know we got a lot of people who are registered, a lot of people from all over the world. So again, go ahead and drop that in the chat of who you are, where you're from. Also, excuse me, want to make sure everything is coming through loud and clear. So let me know if you can hear and see everything okay. Make sure everything's coming through all right. And hopefully technology will cooperate with us. So let me know if you can hear and see everything okay. All right, so we got Ann in Hershey, PA. We got Jay in Knoxville. We got Tom in New Hampshire. We got Miriam in Daytona Beach, Nick in Toronto, Anna in Kansas, Noah in Portland. Jack is here. We got Christy in Pensacola, but work in New York during the week. That is quite a commute. We got Colette here. We got Wendy in New Jersey. We got John is here. Let's see here. Letitia in Charlotte, Colette in Vegas, Peter in Minnesota, Eddie in Ontario, Canada, Rick is here in California, Patrick in Fort Worth, Greg in New Jersey, Vivian in either Los Angeles or Louisiana, Joy in Philly. Again, welcome to all of you. Again, so glad that you guys have joined us today. Hope you've had a great day. Have you had a good day? You ready to get rolling? We'll wait just another minute or so, and then we will jump right into it. Everybody doing good? You feeling good? All right. You got another minute or so. So whatever you need to do to like get yourself focused. All right. So get something to drink, go to the bathroom real quick, turn off the TV, whatever you need to do. I want to make sure you are locked in and dialed in. All right. Let's see here. We got Adnis in New Orleans. We got Gillian, Maryland, Linda in New York. Mick is here in Ohio. Adele in Houston, Jean in Chicago, Shelly in colorful Colorado. We've got, let's see here, someone in St. Pete. We got Greenville, South Carolina represented. Awesome. Welcome to all of you. Again, so glad you have joined us today. We got Amy in Indiana as well. Now, I'm pumped up. I'm excited. I'm ready. Are you guys ready? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to rely heavily on the chat tonight because you can see me, I can't see you, all right? So I want to rely heavily on this, make sure you're alive and well, that you're engaged, and you're tracking with what we're covering and talking about. So how are you feeling? Are you feeling good? You ready to go? If you're ready, just type in the chat. I'm ready. Type in, let's do this. Type in, buckle up, buttercup. I don't know, throw something in there so I know that you are alive and well. You feeling good? Ready to roll? All right, let's do this. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to use this to guide our conversation and discussion. And so we've got a lot to cover, and I'm going to talk fast. So buckle up and get ready for that. So let's do this. Let me turn that part off. And you guys are a chatty bunch. I like it. Let me get this part going right there. All righty. Let me know if you can see that. All right. Want to make sure that that is, again, coming through just clear for you. You good? You feeling good? You ready to roll? All right. Let's do this. I'm pumped. Okay, so again, welcome. Glad you guys are here. Again, we got a lot of people registered from all over the world, and do appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your schedule to join us. So today we're going to be talking about how to build multiple streams of income from your speaking business, even if you don't have a big platform. Now, I'm guessing for a lot of you, this is probably not your first webinar. And the first thing I want to mention is that if you've failed or had a tough time in the past at building multiple streams of income from your speaking business, I want you to know that it's not your fault. Because the truth is there's a lot of information out there. It can be confusing. It can be overwhelming of not knowing where to begin or what to do next. And many times that information overload is what keeps you from success. And so if you've been concerned in the past that you just can't succeed without being a celebrity or having a book deal or a big name or a huge platform or a crazy story about some tragedy that you've overcome. I want to put those fears to rest. You just need the right person to explain it to you. And so that's what we're here for. So I know that if you have a dream to change the world, to make an impact, one of our core beliefs at the Speaker Lab is that your message deserves to be shared. And so today we want to walk you through exactly how to do that and exactly how to make that happen for you during this training. Now, my goal for this presentation is whether you're doing a few speaking gigs and you'd like to make a little extra on the side, or if you're speaking several times a year and you're looking to really build your business beyond the stage, beyond just speaking, and so it doesn't always depend on you having to be on a plane. You have come to the right place. All right. Now, a couple things I ask of you right out of the gate here. My favor is this. I would ask you that you would be fully present, that you would be locked in, that you would be dialed in, that you would be fully present. Because here's the deal. Everything that we're going to be talking about tonight can really have a huge impact on your life. And so I don't want you to miss any single piece. So again, I want you to turn off the TV. I want you to check out of your email. I want you to put the phone away. I want you to tell the kids, the spouse to leave you alone just for a little bit. Just say, hey, listen, just for the next hour or so, I want you to be fully present, fully engaged. So if you can do that, just type in the chat. Just type in fully present. Just type in the chat, fully present, if that's where you're at and you're ready to go. Now, also, I'd want you to stick around to the end here because we got some free downloads we're going to hook you up with. All right. So I'm going to give you a free download of our 7-speaker business models guide. And we're going to talk about this a little bit tonight, but I want you to make sure that you stick around till the end to make sure that you grab this. Also, I'm going to give you a link to download all of our slides. So I'll just tell you now, I'm going to talk fast. I'm going to go through slides fast. It's going to feel like drinking from a fire hose. So make sure you stick around to the end, and that way that you can get these downloads. Now, who is this for? Well, this is, first of all, primarily for speakers. And when I say speakers, you may be someone who's doing a lot of speaking. You've booked a lot of gigs. You're consistently booking gigs, and you're trying to figure out how to cut back on the amount of speaking that you're doing. Okay, that's for you. If you are someone who maybe you're just getting started as a speaker, you've booked a few gigs, maybe you've just done like 1 or 2 free gigs, a couple of little local free things, and you're trying to figure out who you speak to, what you speak about, what's the problem that you solve. That's okay. All right. We're going to help you with that. And this is for you. Maybe you are an author or a coach or a consultant or an expert or an info publisher or a service provider. If you check any of these boxes, then you are in the right place. Now, let me know if any of these things sound like you. Let me know if you've said or wondered any of these things. Maybe you've thought something like, how do I build my business without having to always leave my family and travel? Or maybe something like, how do I figure out what kind of courses or products my audience would want from me? Or do I need to build an email list as a speaker? And if so, how do I actually do that? What's the best way to monetize my offstage content? How do I develop other revenue streams in my speaking business? And how do I self-publish and promote a book? And should I even self-publish? Should I traditionally publish? How do I go about doing that? Do any of these things sound like you? And in fact, if any of these things describe you, just type in the chat, that's me. That's me. If any of these things describe you, just type in the chat, that's me. Because if these things sound familiar, if you said or wondered or thought any of these things before, you are in the right place. Now, on this training, we're going to be talking about the 3 business models for building your business beyond the stage. We're going to cover that right out of the gate here. We're also going to talk about 7 examples of how to incorporate speaking into your beyond the stage model. We're going to talk about the 5 beyond the stage offering options and how to know which one is best for you and for your audience. We'll talk about 5 tactics for generating leads and awareness. And then finally, we're going to talk about 5 strategies for making sales. So if you total up the math there, that's a lot that we're going to be covering in a short amount of time. So again, make sure that you are locked in and you are dialed in. Now, what makes this training different? Well, this is based on real world results. We're not going to be talking about random theories or big ideas or some crazy hypothesis that I've never actually tried. We want to give you practical step-by-step actionable items that you can implement in your business. Now, I'm going to do that. That's my part of this. Now, in return, I have something to ask of you. So at the end of this training, I'm going to make you an offer to help you build your online business faster through our premium training program called Beyond the Stage. Now, I don't want you to invest in it unless I fulfill my promise to you today. But if I deliver on my word, you should feel at least obligated to just consider my special webinar only offer. Does that sound fair? Is that a deal? If so, just give me a yes in the chat if that sounds like a fair deal. Is that cool? Now, since we're going to be spending some time together, let me give you a quick nutshell on who I am. Okay, some fun facts for you. So I've earned over $2 million from speaking. I've earned over $3 million from our online training programs, had over 500 paid speaking engagements, given over 200 live presentations and webinars. We have over 2,000 students in our online training programs. We have over 100,000 email subscribers, 1.5 million podcast downloads, over 30,000 physical copies sold of a self-published book. And then I've also just signed a 6-figure book deal with a traditional publisher. Now, understand this, okay? All these numbers are nice, they're cute, and they're great, and all that stuff. But I want you to know that these numbers are more than just numbers. They represent lives that I've been able to impact, and maybe even bigger than that is how it's affected and impacted my own life. So these are fun facts, yes, but let me share with you some real fun facts, all right? So things like I don't have a day job. I get to do what I love with whom I love when I want. I get to travel and work from anywhere. I get to influence others and make a difference. I have options with my life. And then ultimately, I have a lot of time and money freedom. Okay, these are the things that are really important, that are really significant. But here's something I want you to know is I did not start out that way. I did not start out that way. Everybody starts from zero. It's so important that you hear me and that you understand that. Everybody starts from zero. All right. So how did I start? Well, where I was when I got started, I'm married to my high school sweetheart. Oh, isn't that precious? Throw me an aw or something in the chat there so I know you're good. It gets better. Actually, check this out. When we were dating in high school, I was a freshman. She was a junior. Oh, what's up now, huh? Come on now. That's pretty cute. Like hashtag cougar. Come on now. So we dated for a while, got married, and we have several children. I'll tell you about here in a minute. But when we got married, we were starting a young family. That picture in the lower left corner there is the very first apartment we lived in, Building K, and we lived there and just trying to figure out marriage and figure out life. And so one of the things I enjoyed doing was speaking. And in fact, I attended Bible college, began working as a youth pastor, was doing some speaking in that capacity. And then over the next several years, I really focused on building my speaking business and built a really successful speaking business. But to be honest with you, I felt trapped, and I was speaking 60, 70 times a year, and I was gone 80 to 100 nights per year. So that's a lot, right? And so the only way to make more money in speaking is you either speak more or you charge more. And so I didn't want my income or my impact to be limited only when I got on a plane and had to leave my family. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I had built a successful speaking business. I was able to travel. I was able to speak to literally hundreds of thousands of people and make a great impact and income. And like that's a lot of fun. Like there's nothing wrong with that at all. So it's a really I felt extremely, extremely blessed to be able to do what I do and the opportunities that I've had to speak. But along with the speaking side comes the not so fun part, the parts that oftentimes we don't really think about or we don't really talk about. So for example, the travel. I was on the road all the time. I earned all the top tier travel status, but I felt like it was just a symbol of how much I was gone. And sure, parts of travel are fun, but really there's a lot of non-glamorous parts as well. For example, the weather and the delays, like these are actual pictures that I took. I had a flight one time in North Dakota in December where the plane wouldn't even start because it was too cold. Like I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that was possible. You can see the picture on the right there. That was a flight I was waiting for that was delayed by 6 hours, right? And unfortunately, that's not super uncommon. Like sometimes you deal with weather, you deal with delays, you deal with that non-glamorous part of travel. I had numerous times where I actually had to sleep in airports. And I promise you, it's not nearly as sexy as it may look there. It's not a lot of fun there. There's a lot of long car rides. I remember one time where I flew into Chicago. My flight to Iowa was canceled, and I unexpectedly had to get a rental car and drive 5.5 hours to make it to an event just in time, right? So there's like long car rides, parts that are just, again, non-glamorous, non-sexy. Now, there is like, I guess when you're traveling a lot, there is a sort of fun part, and that's what I would call the TSA love. Oh, the TSA love. Don't you love a good pat down from the TSA? My wife really enjoyed taking this picture of me. I say this completely sarcastically. The TSA love is not fun. Do you like some TSA love? I hope not. All right, moving on. So the worst part, though, yes, the travel's not great. The weather, the delays, sleeping in airports, the long car rides, the TSA love or whatever. But the worst part, easily the worst part, was leaving my family. heading to the airport, watching my girls cry while dad drove away. Like, that's definitely the worst part, the crappy part of travel and speaking that nobody really ever talks about, or we don't really think about, or oftentimes we don't see. See, I mentioned at the beginning, I'm married to my high school sweetheart. Today, we have 3 beautiful daughters that I absolutely adore. See, I live in a house full of women. It's like my own little Barbie dream house. I absolutely love it. And so while speaking is great, like I hated being away from my family. And so maybe you're in a similar spot. You want to build a successful business beyond the stage, and you just don't know where to begin. You don't know what you don't know. You're overwhelmed by the various options, by the technology, by just knowing how to get started. Because all speakers face the same limit, which is time. There are only 24 hours in a day. And as a speaker, you're only making money if you're on stage speaking. And so that time comes at a cost. And so here's where I was. I didn't want my impact and income to be limited by having to travel and leave my family. Didn't want my impact and income to be limited by having to travel and leave my family. So here's a question for you. This is not rhetorical, but I want you to actually drop it in the chat. What would building your speaking business beyond the stage allow you to do that you currently can't? What would building your speaking business beyond the stage allow you to do that you currently can't? Again, that's not rhetorical. I want you to answer it in the chat. Let us know. What would building your speaking business beyond the stage allow you to do that you currently can't? Come on, put that in the chat. I want to see what you have there. Work more often on your terms and schedule. Have more family time. Have more freedom and flexibility. Be able to pay off debt. All those things are good. Keep them coming. What else for you? What would building your speaking business beyond the stage allow you to do that you currently can't? Allow time to write, create passive incomes. You can go to grad school, retire from a 7 to 5 commute and work, have more time with family, be flexible, work from anywhere with less time in active work mode, have more family and vacation memories, focus on your nonprofit, allow you to focus on your creative side, help more people with your charity organization, quit the day job, write more books, get in shape and write books. Awesome. I love it. All of those things are great. And so you have to create a plan for how to actually do that. And that's what we're going to walk through today. All right. You ready to jump in? Ready to do this? If you're ready, just type in the chat. I'm ready. Type in, let's do this. Type in, come on now. I don't know. Throw something in there. You ready? Want to make sure you're good. Want to make sure you're good. Just again, checking in. Make sure you're feeling good. All right, let's jump in here. Here we go. The first thing I want you to know is this. This is really important. Is that there's no quote unquote right way to build your business beyond the stage. There's a lot of different options, and we're going to walk that through with you tonight. So think of it like this. Think of like going to a buffet. How many like going to buffets? If you like buffets, just type in me. If you like buffets, type in me. When you go to buffet, there's so many choices, right? And so there's no right or wrong combination of what to get or what to eat. It's kind of whatever makes sense to you. And so someone may want salad and chicken. Someone else may want steak and potatoes. Someone else may want corn on the cob and ice cream and sprinkles. Whatever. I'm not here to judge. That's not my place. But the same thing is true, though, with how you build your speaking business beyond the stage. There are some speakers who focus on speaking and selling books, and others who do more online with courses and an email list, and others who do more with coaching or consulting. And so our goal today is really just to show you the different options and help you know what your next move is to go in the direction that you want your business to go. So to help get your wheels spinning, I want to give you 3 different business models for speakers, okay? 3 different speaking business models. And I want you to figure out which one makes the most sense for you, all right? First one is this, number one is speaking to sell services. Speaking to sell services. So with this business model, you're going to use your time on stage to prove to the audience that they should hire you for additional services from you that would be off the stage. So this is good if you have a teachable process, if your ideal client is an individual for coaching or an organization for consulting. And so this requires you to have some ongoing time to take on clients and a curriculum to potentially teach them. So maybe this one resonates with you. What about the second one? The model is to speak to sell products. Speak to sell products. Now, with this business model, you use your influence and your awareness to sell other things that don't require as much of your time as services. So things like books and courses and digital and physical products that can keep working and earning while you're doing other things. Now, this is good if you have knowledge to share, but perhaps not the time to take on clients for coaching or consulting. And so this allows you greater reach than you could achieve individually, coaching or consulting, and can free up some of your time in your schedule. Now, the downside, though, is it may require a bigger upfront investment of time and resources to create, market, and sell. Now, the third option, the third model that we would say would be what we'd call speaking to grow an audience. Speaking to grow an audience. So with this business model, you speak to continue to grow an audience on your blog or your social channels or your email list, in which case then you can recommend other people's products or services and make a commission on those purchases that your audience makes based on your recommendations. So this could be things like, writing reviews or and recommendations on your blog, or emailing your list to promote someone else's course or product, or posting about products on your social channels. There's a lot of different options. And so these affiliate partners don't even necessarily need to be strictly related to your speaking topic, but should be things that your audience trusts you to recommend. Now, this requires less time and money upfront than services or products, but it does require marketing savvy to be able to get your money-making, quote-unquote, opportunities out to your audience. So here's a question for you. Which of these three most resonate with you? Which of these three most resonate with you? Just give me a 1, 2, or 3 in the chat there. Several of you dropping in. Several 1s, several 2s, several 3s. All right, good. Okay, cool. Now let's dig into this a little bit deeper, okay? We're going to break this down with the 7 speaker archetypes. 7 speaker archetypes. So here's the first one, okay? And then we're going to go through these 7, and then I want to come back and figure out which one resonates with you. The first one is what we would call the super speaker. Okay, this is someone who makes, for the most part, basically 100% of their income from speaking. So their revenue is made up on stage primarily from speaking fees. Now, in many cases, super speakers, they travel a lot, and given that being on stage is their sole or primary path to income. Now, in most cases, a super speaker is what we would call a keynote speaker, because that's what commands the highest fees, allowing them to do the fewest gigs for the most revenue. So, for example, maybe they do 20 gigs at $20,000 each. Now, in some cases, super speakers may not do keynotes, but instead do a greater number of gigs at a smaller fee. So they may do 50 gigs at $5,000 each. Now, as an example of this is kind of what I used to be, right? This is old Grant. I was speaking 60 to 70 times per year, and virtually all of my income was coming from speaking. Now, I didn't have a course. I wasn't doing any coaching or any consulting. I was really all in on speaking. So this is a great model. There's nothing wrong with being what we'd call, again, a super speaker. Now, the second option, the second archetype, is what we'd call the teacher. This is kind of a combination of speaker and course creator. Now, this is someone who gets most of their revenue from speaking, but they also get revenue from online or in-person courses or educational programs like membership sites. So they may package and sell their knowledge to audience members and other potential students. Now, teachers can also be found leading workshops, can create content where they may offer a sneak peek of the type of knowledge that their courses offer. And teachers can oftentimes command high prices for their workshops and breakout sessions, given that they know how to affect change for their attendees, but they may also be willing to negotiate for lower fees when they see the possibility of new students in the audience. So a good example of this would be Michael Hyatt. Now, Michael is someone that you may be familiar with. He is someone who does some speaking, but the majority of his business comes from training programs, a membership site, books, and live events. So you may be someone that we would categorize as the teacher. The third one would be what we'd call the influencer. This tends to be a combination of someone who does some speaking, but also is an affiliate marketer. Now, the influencer is someone who makes their money from both. So this means that they may have like paid placements on large email newsletters, or paid posts on a big blog, or some other paid means of leveraging the audience that they've amassed based on their expertise. And so for influencers, speaking is oftentimes a path to broadening their audience and influence, which just leads to more money down the line. So a good example of this would be someone like Pat Flynn. Now, Pat speaks several times per year, but he also generates a significant amount of his income from affiliate marketing and from promoting other products. So Pat would be someone that we would call an influencer as it relates to these 7 speaker archetypes. The fourth one would be what we'd call the industry expert. Now, the industry expert is someone that leverages their deep industry knowledge that they have on a certain subject or topic. So they earn an income from speaking, but also just sharing their knowledge through books and other information products. And people really trust their knowledge on a specific topic, and so they get paid accordingly. Now, the industry expert sometimes is a highly sought after keynote speaker. Sometimes they have more name recognition that comes from author, like having a book. And so an example of this would be someone like John Acuff. And John speaks 40 to 50 times per year, but he's also a New York Times best-selling author and really considered a thought leader. So again, he would be someone that we'd call the industry expert. All right. You tracking so far? You with me? We got 3 more to get to here. And I want you to, again, be thinking through which one of these best resonates with you and where it is that you're at. Number 5 would be what we call the coach. The coach. Now, the coach is a speaker who makes their money from speaking, but is also from group and one-on-one coaching. So they are someone who has training or a deep expertise in a specific process or industry or career, and they see speaking as a means to attract new one-on-one or group clients for coaching income. Now, coaches may be highly sought after speakers because of their knowledge, but they may also be able to host their own workshops or facilitate some type of workshop or mastermind that helps people to accomplish that change that they're going for. So an example of this would be someone like Tamsin Webster. Now, Tamsin is a popular speaker, but she also does a lot of one-on-one and group coaching. So she kind of follows this coaching model as a speaker. And then number 6 would be what we call the consultant. Now, the consultant refers to those who speak on stage, but also generate income by consulting for businesses or organizations who like more of their skills, advice, and help off the stage. So a good example of this would be someone like Melanie Diesel. Now, Melanie is actually a graduate of one of our other training programs called Booked and Paid to Speak, and is actually now a coach with the Speaker Lab, but she also has a great mix of speaking and consulting in her own business. And so her speaking generally leads to consulting opportunities because companies want her to help them implement in their business what she talked about in her speaking presentation. All right, so the consultant would be the 6th version. And then the 7th and final version would be what we'd call the jack of all stages. The jack of all stages. So this is someone who has income from multiple different sources. Now, this could be someone who does speaking, but they also have maybe books or courses or consulting or coaching or affiliate revenue. And so because the jack of all stages derives income from a lot of different sources, it's likely that they're not charging as high of fees for individual speeches, but rather they use speaking as a way to grow awareness for their other offerings. So I talked about at the beginning, old Grant was kind of the super speaker, right? So new Grant, so to speak, would be what we'd consider kind of this jack of all stages. So at the time, nearly all of my income came from speaking, but today the business is much more diversified. We have revenue from many different sources. So in fact, the picture on the left there was when I recently signed a 6-figure book deal. And so we have online training programs. We host small live in-person workshops. We have a variety of different sources there. So here's a question for you. Which of these most resonates with you? Which of these most resonates with you? Again, go ahead and drop a number in the chat there of which one of these 7 most resonates with you. The super speaker, the teacher, the influencer, the industry expert, the coach, the consultant, the jack of all stages. Which one of those most resonates with you? A lot of you putting in a bunch of different numbers there. That's good. That's good. Some of you may know exactly what it is for you. Some of you may still be unsure. That's okay. All right. So again, put in there what most resonates with you. You're not making a permanent decision there. Don't stress about it. Good. Okay. Now, I want to caution you to slow down here, because the truth is it's really easy to get carried away at this stage because there's a lot of possibilities. And so if you're fired up, it's easy to see how you could do all of them. And just because you can does not mean you should. And so you never really want to create just to create. It's not a good use of your time, not a good way to earn money. And so one of the things you may have heard us say before is that you can do it all, you just can't do it all at once. So something's going to come first and something's going to come last. So you have to be really smart in picking where you will start. You want to approach each new product or service strategically to make sure it's going to give you the results that you want. You don't have to create and sell all of these products. And in fact, you shouldn't. So to properly scale your speaking business beyond the stage, you need to strategically select products and services that are best fit for you, for your focus, for your attention, so that make sure you're doing these things to best align and match up with your available time, money, and resources. So where do you even begin here? Okay, where you want to begin is begin with what your audience actually needs. The key to successfully launching new products and services that helps build your revenue and expand your speaking business is to figure out what questions or challenges or obstacles that your audience is facing and then create solutions for those problems. You want to help them achieve some form of transformation or result that they are going for. Okay, let me give you an example here. So let's imagine, for example, you are in the business of shoveling snow off of driveways in the winter, right? Someone has snow covering their driveway. They want it cleared. You are providing a solution to the problem that they have. You with me? Right? But that doesn't work if you're trying to shovel snow in August when it's hot, there's no snow anywhere, and driveways are all clear. At that point, you're trying to provide a solution to a problem that does not exist. So, again, it comes back to that question. You have to begin with what is it that your audience needs? What is it that your audience needs? What is the problem that you can solve for your audience? What is the problem that you can solve for your audience? Now, you can learn more about your audience through things like focus groups or competitor audits or keyword research. In fact, we dig into all of those things much more inside beyond the stage training program so that you're really, really clear about what it is that your audience wants and how it is that you can best solve that for them. Now, once you understand what your audience needs and how you can solve that problem for them, then what you can do is you need to select the offering that makes the most sense. Okay. So we've identified 5 different beyond the stage offerings, 5 different beyond the stage offerings. You can write these down. Number 1 would be digital products, online courses, membership sites. Number 2 would be affiliate marketing. Number 3 would be a book, physical or ebook. Number 4 would be coaching. This could be one-on-one or small group coaching. And then number 5 would be consulting, where you're working with a company or an organization. Now, we're going to talk about these 5 more in depth here in just a second. But remember, your audience and the problem that you solve for them determines which offering makes the most sense. Okay, look at that again. Your audience and the problem that you solve for them determines which offering makes the most sense. Okay, let me give you 2 case studies as examples. Okay, this first one is Thomas Frank. Now, Thomas runs a site called College Info Geek where he teaches college students better study skills and habits. Now, he also speaks at different conferences, but let's look at how these 5 different offerings would make sense for Thomas and his business. So, again, his primary audience is who? College students, right? And what's the problem that he's solving for them? He's helping them to create better study skills. True? So that right there helps to inform and determine which of the 5 offerings makes the most sense. So do college students who are wanting help with study skills, do they buy digital products? Possibly, maybe, probably not the perfect fit. What about affiliate marketing, where he could recommend products that students could use? Yeah, that'd be a great fit, right? What about a book that's teaching study skills? Totally, that'd be a great fit as well. What about coaching, right? Well, I mean, possibly, but not real likely, because coaching tends to be a little bit pricier, and college students, for the most part, tend to be broke, so probably not a fit. And then number 5 is consulting. So would consulting work for what he's trying to accomplish and for who he's trying to serve? Not really a fit, right? So, do you see how once you're clear on who your audience is and what the problem is that you can solve, then you can determine which of the 5 offerings fits the best? You with me? You tracking? Okay, let me give you another example here. Okay, let's go back to Melanie. Like I mentioned before, Melanie is a coach for the Speaker Lab, but she's also a professional speaker and consultant who teaches companies about how to tell better stories with their brand. So again, Melanie's primary audience is corporations, and the problem that she solves for them is to help them tell better brand stories. So that right there helps to inform and determine which of these 5 offerings makes the most sense. Okay, so let's look at these. Do corporations buy digital products to help tell better stories? Probably not, right? What about affiliate marketing? Would that work? Not really. What about a book? Absolutely. A book would be great for that. Okay. What about coaching? Possibly. I guess if she was doing like one-on-one or group coaching with marketing or advertising professionals, possibly. But what about consulting? Consulting is probably going to be the best fit. So again, do you see how once you're clear on who your audience is and what the problem is that you can solve, then you can determine which of the 5 offerings fits best? Does that make sense? Okay, so let's go back to this list for a second. Which of these 5 most resonates with you and what you feel like would be best for your audience? Go ahead and drop a number in the chat there, 1 through 5. Which of these 5 most resonates with you and how you want to build your business for your audience? Which of these 5 makes the most sense for you? Good. Lots of numbers dropping in. Now, check this out. This is important, okay? Knowing what you'll offer is not enough. Okay. So if you say, hey, it all makes sense. A book is going to be the perfect fit. Great. That's awesome. But knowing what you're going to offer is not enough, because just like in speaking, if you build it, they will not come. If you build it, they will not come. What's this movie? Anybody name this movie? One of the best sports movies of all time? If you build it, they will not come. So once you determine, okay, I want to have a book, or I want to do consulting, or whatever it may be, the next part is you need to figure out how to generate leads and build awareness for that offering. Just because you build it doesn't mean they're going to show up. So to do that, we've outlined 5 different tactics for generating leads and awareness in your building, in your business. Okay, 5 different tactics for generating leads and awareness. They're going to be building an email list, social media marketing, content marketing. This could also include blogging or video, podcasting, and guest posts and appearances. Okay, guest posts and appearances. Now, let's go back to our 2 case studies, for example, here. Okay, so let's go back to Thomas. Now, again, Thomas's audience primarily is who? College students, right? And the problem that he's solving for them is what? To create better study skills. So currently, the primary way that he does that is through affiliate marketing. So let's walk through these 5 tactics for generating awareness and figure out which ones make the most sense. So would building an email list be important? Yes, absolutely, right? And quick spoiler alert, having an email list is important pretty much regardless of which of these 5 offerings you choose. So building an email list is very important. Next one would be, what about like social media? Okay, it could be beneficial, but it's not really a key thing that he focuses on. What about content marketing? Yeah, absolutely. So Thomas does a lot with his blog. He does a lot with videos on YouTube as well. What about podcasting? He does some, but it's not a real key piece of what he's doing. And then what about guest posts and appearances? Again, some, but nothing real significant. So do you see how he doesn't try to do all these things? He picks just a few to focus on that makes sense for him, for his audience, the problem that he's solving, and the product or service that he's offering. Does this make sense? You tracking? Okay, let's go back to Melanie, for example. Okay, remember, Melanie's primary audience is corporations. The problem that she solves for them is helping them to build or helping them to tell better brand stories. And then the primary offering that she offers is consulting. Okay, so based on this, would building an email list be important? Yes, absolutely, right? What about social media? She does use a lot of social media to build connections and credibility. What about content marketing? Yeah, absolutely. In fact, this is a big part of what she teaches. So it's an important piece of her strategy to build awareness. What about podcasting? So she hosts the Speaker Lab, co-hosts the Speaker Lab podcast with me from time to time. It's not really related to her consulting work. And then again, with guest posts and appearances, she does some, but it's not really a key piece here. So notice this. Here's the key piece that I want you to catch. Is that Thomas and Melanie both do very different things, but both work based on what it is that they are trying to do. Does that make sense? So again, like we talked about earlier, just like offerings, you can't and shouldn't try to do all of these things. You want to focus on the ones that make sense for you, for your audience, and for your offering. So let's come back here to these 5. In terms of how to build awareness and how to build your audience, which of these 5 most resonates with you? Go ahead and drop a number in the chat there. Drop a number in the chat. Which of these 5 most resonates with you? Which of these 5 most resonates with you? Okay, so at this point, you've got your offering, you've built some awareness, and now it is time to sell, okay? Because here's the point. You know that you need to know that your product or service isn't going to sell itself. Like if you do all the work to create a new product or a service, then you've got to spend the time thinking about how you're going to make your audience, your potential audience, aware of your offerings, and then take steps to put those wheels into motion to ensure that you're able to make sales both on and off the stage. You have to think this piece through. So 5 tactics for making sales. 5 tactics for making sales. We'd categorize these as webinars, affiliate partnerships, launches, phone sales, and evergreen or automated. All right. So we're going to talk more about these in just a second. But one of the things you need to know is that how you sell is largely determined by what you sell. How you sell is largely determined by what you sell. Okay. Imagine for a second you owned a fast food restaurant. So one of my favorite fast food places is Chick-fil-A. Anybody else like themselves some Chick-fil-A? I love me some Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is delicious. What's your favorite item on the Chick-fil-A menu? Well done waffle fries. Boom. Go get those right now. Also, let's have a little debate here. What's the best sauce What's the best? It's honey mustard. Don't even argue. End of discussion. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Think about what Chick-fil-A sells. All right. So Chick-fil-A basically they sell like chicken meals that are around $5. So do you think that the way to sell this would be something like phone sales? All right. Like, can you imagine a call center of people calling people and saying, "Hey, are you in the mood for a chicken sandwich? You should come on down to Chick-fil-A." Like, that's dumb and not real cost effective at all. Why? Because again, let's go back to what we just talked about. How you sell is largely determined by what you sell. How you sell is largely determined by what you sell. Okay, now let's go back to our two case studies and examples here. Okay, so first we got Thomas. So again, let's recap where we're at. Thomas speaks primarily to college students. The problem he helps them solve is to create better study skills. The primary way he does this is through affiliate marketing. So does it make sense to offer affiliate marketing through webinars? Like hypothetically, but it's probably not the most effective way to do that. What about affiliate partnerships? He does some, but again, not real key piece. What about launches? Again, some, but not really. What about phone sales? Nah, it just doesn't really make sense in this context. What about evergreen or automated through his site and resources? Yes, absolutely. This is a key piece of what he does. So again, see how he's not trying to do all of these things. He picks a few sales mechanisms that make sense for him, for his audience, for the problem that he's solving, for the offering that he has, and he focuses on those. True? Okay, now let's go back to Melanie. So with Melanie, again, speaks to corporations, helps them tell better brand stories, offers consulting. So based on that, she doesn't do webinars. She doesn't do affiliate partnerships. She doesn't really do launches. Phone sales is really the best way for her to sell consulting by having conversations with people, learning about what they're looking for, and providing a solution to that through consulting. She also does some evergreen and automated, but again, it's not really much. It's primarily the thing is phone sales. So again, Thomas and Melanie both do very different things, but both work based on what it is that they are trying to do, what their goals are. So let's come back to the list of 5 here. Which of these best fits with your goals? With your goals, what you're trying to accomplish, with your audience, the problem that you're solving, with your offering, which of these 5 makes the most sense? Again, go ahead and drop that in the chat. Which of these 5 makes the most sense for you? Just give us a number, 1 through 5 there. Is this helpful so far? Are we scratching where you're itching? Are you learning something? You feeling good? Ooh, I got a lot more stuff to come. Okay, let's keep moving on here. Let's go back to this beautiful picture that we looked at earlier, the buffet, right? Because again, like we've talked about, there's a lot of different options here. Do you see? A lot of different options, a lot of different paths that you could take. And it can be overwhelming. It can be confusing. It can be like, I don't even know where to begin here. But like we've said all along, remember what we talked about at the beginning, there's no right way to build your business beyond the stage. You can do what works or what makes sense for you. What makes sense for one speaker may not make sense for another speaker. And so ultimately, you have to pick the path that makes the most sense for your goals and for your business. Now, I know we've talked fast. I know we've gone through the slides very quickly. How many of you feel like this right now? Let me say that this describes you. If so, just type in the chat, that's me. If this describes you, just type in the chat, that's me. It's a great picture. All right. Now I mentioned to you, I have some free bonuses for you here. So let me throw up the link for you. Those 7 speaker business models. We have a guide on that as well as our webinar slides. So you can check that out over at thespeakerlab.com/BTS download. Thespeakerlab.com/BTS download if you would like to check that out. Now here's a question for you. Has this been worth your time so far? Has this been worth your time so far? I'm still getting warmed up. Still got more to come. Has this been worth your time so far? Yeah? Here's a question for you. What's been your light bulb moment so far? What's been your light bulb moment so far? Drop that in the chat. Let me know. What has been your light bulb moment? What is something that's happened or something you're like, oh, I didn't realize. Okay, I just had this aha, eureka moment. What has been that light bulb moment for you? Now, here's a question for you. If you followed everything that we showed you today, meaning you got really clear about what problem you could solve for your audience and what product or service you could offer them, and then you got clear about how to build awareness and generate leads, and then you had a system for how to sell your product or service that made sense for you and your audience, do you think you could be successful? Do you think you could be successful? Do you feel like, okay, I'm having this aha moment. Do you feel like if you followed everything we showed you today, that you could be successful? Do you think you could do this? Can you do this? Okay, because here's something that's really important to me is I want to give you a lot of step-by-step know-how of what you need to do. I want to give you a lot of actionable items to follow, but I also want to give you the confidence that you can do this. You don't need to have some big platform. You don't need to have some big audience. Remember what we talked about at the beginning. Everybody starts from zero. Everybody starts from zero. I started from zero. Thomas started from zero. Melanie, any example that you can look to, that everybody starts from zero. You don't have to be some special snowflake. So I want to know, can you do this? Can you do this? Now, here's the reality is we have covered a lot, but there's still a whole lot we haven't even talked about. Like, we haven't even talked about how do you actually create a digital product like a course that people will actually want to buy. We haven't talked about how do you pre-sell your offering. Excuse me. How do you pre-sell your offering so you generate money before even creating anything? We haven't talked about how do you validate your product or service before you create it so you know exactly what people will want, or knowing the differences between traditional and self-publishing a book and knowing which one is right for you. We haven't talked about how much to charge for your coaching, consulting, or digital product, or how to build an email list, or what email service to use, how to start blogging or podcasting, how to attract an audience. We haven't talked about how to create and promote a webinar, or exactly what to say when selling something like a high-ticket product or coaching or consulting. And so the bottom line is there's still so much we haven't even had a chance to even get to. And so here's the thing. If you liked what I gave you for free today, you are going to love the rest of the training. This is why we created Beyond the Stage. And so if it's okay with you, I'd like to spend just a couple of minutes going over this very special offer that we've created to help you build your business beyond the stage faster. All right. Is that okay with you? Can I just walk through that real quick? And then we're going to do some live Q&A. Is that okay? If so, just give me a yes in the chat. If that's okay, if I have your permission, just give me a yes in the chat if that's okay. That cool? All right, awesome. Okay, so first of all, let me just give you a quick overview on exactly what Beyond the Stage is. Okay, so Beyond the Stage is a complete blueprint on the various pathways that speakers can take to expand their business with products and services, and an action plan to bring those offerings to life. Okay, so it gives you the plan, the details, and the roadmap of exactly how to do that. So here's what you're going to get. Here's what we've put together. We put together 36 step-by-step video training lessons that are going to guide you through exactly what you need to know to, again, build your business beyond the stage. So what exactly does the course teach? Well, we have 6 different modules. The first module is helping you get clarity on your business model. So we're going to help you clarify your expert positioning, knowing who you are serving, what problem you can solve for them. So maybe you're someone who's like, you're more on the newer side, and you're just trying to figure out, like, man, I'm not sure, who I can speak to, or what's the problem that I can solve for them. And I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm so fuzzy on that. That's okay. We're going to help you with that. We're going to help you get really clear on that. We're going to talk about the income pie, where you're making money and where do you want to be, and help you understand how to bridge the gap there. We're going to talk about an overview of the different business model options and the benefits of each. And then finally, we're going to give you an in-depth video and guide on the 7 types of speakers. In the second module, we're going to talk about determining what your audience needs, researching your audience needs through focus groups, keyword research, competitor analysis. We're going to talk about how to know whether or not your idea will work for your audience. So maybe you're like, I know exactly what I want to do, but you're just not sure if it's going to work for your audience. We're going to walk through how to know that. We're also going to talk about how to pre-sell or crowdfund your product or service idea. In the third module, we're going to talk about how to choose a Beyond the Stage offering, how to create digital products such as an online course or membership site, how to partner with affiliates to promote their products and get paid, how to write and publish a book, the pros and cons between traditional and self-publishing. Talk about how to use coaching in your business, individual or group coaching. We're going to talk about how to position yourself as a consultant and what to offer and what to charge. And then also in each of these modules, we're going to give you an in-depth perspective from myself and Melanie on how we use these things in our business and what it looks like for us. In the fourth module, we're going to talk about generating leads and building awareness. So we're going to talk about how to build an email list, why it matters no matter what offering you choose. We're going to talk about how to promote your offering using social media and how to know which platform makes the most sense for you. You don't need to try to be on all of them. We're going to talk about how to use content marketing or blogging to generate leads, how to start and grow a podcast to build your audience, how to use guest posting to build awareness of your product or service. And again, another behind the scenes look at myself and Melanie's businesses and how we use these things. And then the fifth module, we're going to talk about selling your Beyond the Stage offering. So remember, we've got clear on what the offering is. We've built awareness and leads for it. Now, how do we actually sell it? So this is where we're going to talk more in depth about how to use webinars to sell your product or service, how to find affiliates and partners who can promote your offering, how to set up and run launches for your book or course, how to use selling over the phone for coaching, consulting, or high ticket offerings, how to turn the selling of your product into an automated evergreen funnel that generates sales 24/7. And then again, another behind the scenes look for Melanie and I of how we use these 5 strategies in our own businesses. And then finally, in module 6, we're going to talk about understanding how to fit your Beyond the Stage offering into your speaking business. We're going to talk about how to use speaking to cross promote your other products and services, talk about the best tactics and strategies for selling from the stage, and then finally, or how to systematize and outsource parts of your business, because we know you're busy. We know you have a lot going on. So we want to help you know how to add people who can help take some of those things off of your plate. And then finally, the best tools, resources, and software that we use to help grow your business beyond the stage. So if you're just like, I know there's a lot of tools out there and I'm overwhelmed, we're going to just give you a list of all the tools that we would recommend and how to use them in your business. Plus, we're going to include for you worksheets, PDFs, guides to help you implement what you're learning. I don't want you just to like learn something. I want you to do something with what we're talking about. We're going to give you lifetime access to all of the training materials. That means you can go as fast or as slow as you want, whenever you want, from wherever you want. So this is a digital program. You can do it from the comfort of your home. You can do it at your own pace. You can go Netflix style and just binge watch everything over the weekend if you want, or you can take your time and again, go through it at your own pace. And then all the resources are downloadable. So PDFs, transcripts, videos, MP3s. We know that everybody learns differently. And so we wanted to put together all the different possible options for you there. The other thing that we're going to include is our Beyond the Stage community. You're going to get lifetime access to this. This is a private Facebook group that myself and Melanie, our other coaches, are a part of. So we're there just to provide feedback, provide support, provide instruction and guidance as you're building your business beyond the stage. Also, every single month, Melanie and I are going to host a live Q&A coaching call. So every single month, we're going to be available to answer your questions, to hop on a call and provide feedback. So if you're stuck on something, again, you've got that private discussion group, but you've also got this as a chance that you can hop on and get your questions answered live. Plus, we'll have all those archives available so you can go back to that as much as you want. And again, you will have lifetime access to these calls. So quick recap here of what you'll get so far. You're going to have the Beyond the Stage video training program. That's those 36 video training videos. You're also going to get the private discussion group and then the live monthly Q&A and coaching calls. Pretty cool so far, huh? This sound like what you're looking for? Sound like be a fit? Okay, so let me throw in some bonuses here. I know you like bonuses. So first bonus is we're going to give you unlimited email consulting with myself and our coaches. So if you get stuck, you have a question, you can email us directly. You have professional speakers who are on standby, ready to help you at any time. So you have unlimited access to us via email consulting. The second bonus we're going to give you is our expert interviews. We've done 20 different expert interviews with industry experts teaching their best strategies for building and growing your business beyond the stage. So people like Pat Flynn and Brian Harris and Jeff Goins and Chandler Bolt, John Lee Dumas, Dan Miller, Aaron Chase, Elizabeth Marshall, Joseph Michael, Mike Morrison, and 10 other different people that we've interviewed just to hear some specific strategies of what they recommend on some of these things that we've covered and talked about of how you can really begin to implement these tactics and build your business beyond the stage. The third bonus we've put together here is exclusive partner discounts. So we've got special offers and pricing from companies like ConvertKit and Thinkific and Samcart, different tools and softwares that we use. We've asked them for, hey, can you put together something like special deal that's only for our Beyond the Stage students? And so that's what they've done. We have a list of several different companies that have given us different discounts and promotions that are only available to Beyond the Stage students. So we put that for you, put that together for you as well. So here's a recap of what you're going to get. You're going to get the Beyond the Stage video training program, the private discussion group, the live monthly Q&A and coaching calls, the unlimited email consulting, the 20 expert interview videos, and then the exclusive partner discounts. All right. So we're at just over $9,000 plus. We have one more huge fast action bonus. This is only for people who join while we are live on this training. What we're going to do is those that join while we are live, we're going to give you a 15-minute one-on-one video call with a Speaker Lab coach. All right, a 15-minute one-on-one coaching call. And so again, this is only for people who join while we are on the training. So this time is for us to hop on a call, a video call, face-to-face, and just dig into your business and help you where you feel stuck, where you need feedback, where you need support. This is a chance for us to provide one-on-one coaching with you. So again, you're going to have the private Facebook community. You're going to have the monthly Q&A calls. You're going to have the email consulting. But again, also, you're going to get this one-on-one coaching call. So we want to do everything we can to ensure you are successful. Now, if you took everything that we've shown you here, we're looking at just under $10,000 in value. So I would say even at $5,000, this would be a good deal for all of these things, right? But don't worry, we're not going to do it for $5,000. And even at $3,000, because of the potential ROI by implementing these things for coaching or for having a book or for having an online training program, you can have huge ROI potential. But again, we won't even do it for $3,000. Now, on our site, we're going to offer this for $1,497. But check this out. What we're going to do is we're going to knock off an additional $500, and you can get it for a one-time investment of $997. But wait, here's what we're going to do. We also have a payment plan. You can do $197 a month for just 6 months. $197 a month for just 6 months. But let me take it a step further here. Okay, let's make this offer even sweeter. We're going to put together a promo code here that you can get an additional 20% off. An additional 20% off if you use the promo code BEYOND20. If you use the promo code BEYOND20, you're going to get that additional 20% off. So again, we've already knocked it from $1,497 down $500 to $997. But again, if you use this promo code that's going to be expiring soon, then you're going to get an additional 20% off. All right. We wanted to make this an absolute no-brainer for you. Now, as many of you know, Beyond the Stage, we just launched. We've had a lot of people who've already joined as a beta test group and who've been going through the material, who've been providing feedback. We've been making it as the absolute best program on how to build your business beyond the stage. So to kick this off, to release it to the public, then this is why we wanted to provide this additional bonus for you. Again, you can use that promo code BEYOND20 and get an additional 20% off. Pretty sweet, right? All right, cool. So if you're ready to join, you can click there on the right side to join or go to thespeakerlab.com/build, thespeakerlab.com/build. Now, some of you are going, okay, I'm intrigued, but I don't know, like, is this going to work? But let's do this. What if we could take away all the risk for you, right? What if we could take away all the risk? So here's our guarantee to you. Take the course for 60 days. Do the work. Give an honest effort. If you don't see results, I will give you your money back. All right. Take the course for 60 days, full 60 days. Do the work. Give an honest effort. Okay. Once you give an honest effort, but if you don't see results, I'll give you your money back. Because again, we know this works if you do the work. Now, who has this worked for? Well, it's worked for speakers who want to add additional revenue streams to their business, but don't know where to begin, right? You're doing some speaking, you want to add some additional revenue streams, but you're just like, I'm just overwhelmed with all the different options. I need to simplify it. I need to know what's the path that I should take. Okay. That's why we have created it. All right. Number two is speakers who want to reduce their amount of travel and be home more. If you're already traveling a lot and you just want to cut back on the volume of travel, we've provided a solution for you. All right. You need to go through Beyond the Stage and figure out what's the roadmap for you. And then number three is speakers who want to build an online business but are overwhelmed with how to do it. So maybe you're going, I know I need to build an email list. I know I need to I want to do a blog or a podcast. I'd love to do an online course. No idea where to begin. Okay, we've really simplified it, and we're going to show you exactly what the roadmap is that you need to follow. Now, maybe for you, you're someone who's going, hey, Grant, I'm brand new to speaking. I've done a couple of speaking gigs, maybe some free things here and there, and I'm just not even quite sure what to do from here. I know I want to build my business beyond the stage. I know I want to have multiple streams of revenue, but I just don't even know where to begin. I'm not sure on who I should speak to. What's the problem that I solve? Okay, that's okay. We are going to walk that through with you here inside Beyond the Stage. We're going to make it extremely simple for you to know what to do next. Thomas, that we talked about earlier, Thomas said, I first met Grant as a freshman in college. I've had the pleasure of learning from him over the years. I was also one of the first to take his Booked and Paid to Speak training course. Since then, I've been able to build a business and a brand with over 1 million YouTube subscribers, which is a ton, and over 200,000 email subscribers. And along the way, I've been able to leverage the brand to speak at multiple universities and events like VidCon. The insights I've gained from Grant have been a huge help in the process of building both my speaking business and my brand as a whole. So again, he took exactly what we're going to give you here, implement it, and those are the results that he has seen. Now, let's go back and talk about at the beginning. Where was I when I was doing a lot of speaking? What was going on? Okay. I was traveling all the time. I was having to leave my family. I was having to sleep in airports. I was dealing with travel delays. I was getting that quote unquote special treatment from the TSA. Again, not as glamorous as people might think it is. But once I followed everything that we outline inside the Beyond the Stage training program, everything changed both personally and professionally. I showed you this earlier, okay, the fun facts, the numbers, the stats, okay, all that stuff is well and good. But I want to show something different, okay? Because of following the Beyond the Stage system, our family has been able to travel. We've been able to have more freedom and flexibility in our lives. We've been able to give our daughters amazing experiences. We actually recently finished building our dream house. And you can see in the lower right corner there, a little pool party we had in the backyard with some friends. And we just pinch ourselves like, is this real life? Is this actually happening? And all of this is a result of following exactly what we teach inside Beyond the Stage. So you don't have to have some special power. You don't have to have some special ability. We're going to walk you through exactly what you need to do. All of this is a result of following exactly what we teach inside this program. Now, if all this course did was to help you gain clarity on how to build your impact and income beyond speaking, if the course helped you do that, would that be worth it to you? Would that be worth it to you? Give me a yes, if so, in the chat. Would that be worth it to you? If all this course did was to give you a roadmap to follow to build your online business, would that be worth it to you? Would to remove the obstacles, the risk, the confusion, the doubts, the insecurities, the fears, if it helped to remove those things, would that be worth it to you? If all this course did was to allow you to travel less and to have more work-life balance, would that be worth it to you? If all this did was to help you decrease your stress and increase your income, would that be worth it to you? Again, these are not rhetorical questions. Let me know in the chat. If the course did any of these things, if the course did all of these things, would that be worth it to you? So at this point, you have a choice. You have a choice to make. So option one is you can spend countless frustrating hours and years like I did trying to make sense of it all, stumbling your way through, and maybe one day it all comes together. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Or you can take the fast track and you can get step-by-step help from professional mentors who have been where you're trying to go. All right. So how do you join? All you have to do is you're going to go to, again, thespeakerlab.com/build, or click on the link on the right side there. It's going to take you to an order form that looks just like this. Just fill out your information there. And as soon as you join, you'll be taken to your login and be able to set that up. Now, if you are someone who you already have a login with us, maybe you've joined one of our other programs in the past, whenever you log in, the Beyond the Stage training material will be added to your account. All right. So you still have the same login, but we'll send you all of that so you know exactly where to go and exactly what to do. All right. All right, you ready for some Q&A? So if so, go ahead and put your questions in the chat box. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat box. Several of you already joining Beyond the Stage, so welcome to all of you. Looking forward to connecting with you and working with you on the inside. So again, quick recap of what you're going to get. You're going to get the Beyond the Stage video training program. You're going to get the private discussion group. You're going to get the live monthly Q&A and coaching calls. You're going to get the unlimited email consulting, the 20 expert interview videos. You're going to get the exclusive partner discounts. And then again, you're going to get this fast action bonus. Again, this is only for people who join while we are on this training. So as soon as we're done here, this bonus will be going away. So this bonus is, again, only for those who join while we are live here. Again, that's going to be the one-on-one video coaching call. Remember, you also have that 60-day, 100% money back guarantee. So total value there is just over $9,700. Again, we're doing this for normally $997 or even $197 a month. But again, if you use the promo code BEYOND20, make sure you use that, BEYOND20, you will save an additional 20%. So use that promo code BEYOND20 and you will save an additional 20%. All right. Okay, what questions do you have? Again, if you have questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat so we can get to as many of those as possible. All right, so a question, is the offer available on the replay as I want to commit, but can't do so right now? So we will have a replay available until this Sunday, okay? This Sunday, that you can join. Now, let me point out a couple things here, okay? This promo code BEYOND20, it expires tomorrow, August the 22nd. It expires at 3 o'clock Central Time, okay? So this promo code BEYOND20 expires tomorrow, 3 o'clock Central Time. Now, also this fast action bonus, this one-on-one coaching call, this expires in just a couple of minutes. So when we finish up here, you can still get all these things on the replay in the next couple of days, but the fast action bonus of the one-on-one coaching call, that goes away in just a couple of minutes. And the code, the 20% off promo code Beyond 20, that goes away tomorrow, August 22nd at 3 o'clock Central Time. Okay, 3 p.m. Central Time. Good question. What else? What other questions do you have? If you have a question, go ahead and drop that in the chat. We want to get to as many of those as possible. Samantha, I see your question. I also see that you mentioned earlier that you joined already. How do you access these bonuses, such as the one-on-one video call? You can just email support at thespeakerlab.com, Samantha. Support at thespeakerlab.com. Just email in, and our support team can get you squared away there. So, Samantha, your other question, let me pull this up here. So your question, what do you recommend when trying to identify what problem you're trying to solve through your speaking and additional support products? Yeah, so some of this may tie into your speaking. If you're someone that's already doing some speaking, then you already kind of know what it is that you're speaking about and what's the problem that you're solving for that specific audience. But if you're not doing any speaking, then you got to kind of zoom out and figure out who's the audience that you're speaking to and what are the problems that they have that you can solve. And so this is where we also get into some of this inside of our other program called Booked and Paid to Speak. Now, some of you may already have Booked and Paid to Speak. Let me clarify that Beyond the Stage is a totally separate program. It's a totally separate training program, and so it's not included inside of Booked and Paid to Speak. So one of the things that you can do is you can do some simple surveys of just talking with people that are in your core audience to figure out what are the problems that they have, so you're clear on what the potential solutions are that you might be able to offer. You can also do some keyword research and some competitive analysis to figure out what are competitors who are solving problems for a similar audience. What are they? What is it that they are offering? What are the problems that they are solving? And again, that's just kind of high level, big picture, but we dig into all of that much more inside module 2 of Beyond the Stage. All right, let's see here. Jack asked, the earlier link is thespeakerlab.com/BTS download. All right, let me drop that in the chat there. Free download you can find at thespeakerlab.com/BTS download. All right. Let's see here. What else? What other questions do we have here? What else can we answer? Several people continuing to join. So welcome to all of you. Again, looking forward to connecting with you inside of the training program. What else? What other questions do we have here? Now, let me ask you this. I know that for some of you, maybe you're on the fence right now. Okay, I know a lot of you are still here with us live, and you're thinking about it, right? Maybe you're going through, you're filling out your order form, filling out your registration and enrollment form, and you're just kind of on the fence right now. Okay, so if you are someone who's on the fence, would you just type that in the chat? Just type in fence. Just type in fence if you are someone who is on the fence right now. And if you're on the fence, let me know why you are on the fence. Let me know why you're on the fence. Let me know what's holding you back, what's concerning you, what's keeping you from taking action. Go ahead and drop in the drop in the chat and let me know what is it that is holding you back right now. What is it that is keeping you from taking action? Again, just type in the chat on the fence. Just type in the chat on the fence. Now, I know for some of you, part of what is holding you back is finances. Okay, totally get that. You're thinking, Grant, what if I don't have the money? I'm interested. I want to do this, but I don't have the money. Okay, understand that there's a huge, huge difference between spending money and investing money. Spending money and investing money. When you spend money, there's no ROI. There's no return on that investment. That money is gone. So when you buy things like furniture or clothing or a new car or vacations, you don't get any return for those things. That money is gone. There's nothing wrong with any of those things, but there's no return on that investment. Versus when you invest money, so when you buy things like retirement or things like training that you do something with, like you're getting a return for that investment. So for example, whenever my wife and I, we put money towards our retirement every single month we put money towards our retirement, and we don't view that as a cost. We don't view it as an expense, but we know that someday we are going to get more back than what we put in, right? That's the idea of retirement. That's why you save towards retirement. And so it's not a cost, it's an investment. I'm getting a return on that investment. And so the same thing is true with Beyond the Stage. If you invest in the program, if you invest in yourself and you go through it and you apply what we teach, you will see results. You will see results, and you will get a return on that investment. You will earn more back than what you put in because of the ability, again, to earn a return on that investment. What else? All right. What other questions? I know that the offer is getting ready to go away. We got just another couple of minutes or so till we strike zero. What other questions do you have? If you're on the fence, again, let me know why you're on the fence. If again, you're on the fence because of cost, this is why we have this 20% off discount. Okay. We have the 20% off discount that can be used for either the pay in full or for the monthly payment plan. So you have the monthly payment plan or the pay in full option. And both of those you can get the 20% off by again using Beyond 20. Beyond 20. Now, like I mentioned, that fast action bonus, that one-on-one coaching call, that's going to go away here in just a second. All right. That's going to be going away here in just a minute. Don't miss out on that. Don't miss out on the Beyond 20% off discount. What else? What other questions do you have here? Patty says, can you explain a little bit more about affiliate partners? Yeah, great question, Patty. So there's two types of affiliate partners. So affiliate partners, meaning that you promote other people's products and they pay you for it. So for example, you could set up, as an example, you could set up as what's called an Amazon associate. And so what would happen would be, let's say you have a product, there's a product on Amazon, and it's not necessarily your product, it's just it's a watch that you recommend, or an ink pen that you recommend, that you can recommend that and send people a specific link that's connected to you. And if people buy that product through your link, you get paid a commission on it, right? So that'd be an example of an affiliate partner. So there's different times where we partner with different people who we promote their product, and we get some type of commission for that, for sales that happen. So there's that side of it. The other side of it is, let's say you have an existing product or service, and the reverse may be true, where you partner with someone and they sell your product, and you give them a commission for it. Okay. So that's a possibility as well. So it kind of depends if you already have a product or service and you're looking to promote it to others, or if you don't have a product or service, but you want to promote someone else's product or service, then that's what an affiliate partnership could look like. Good question. What else? What other questions do you have? Questions, comments, cares, concerns? What other questions do you have? Several of you continuing to join. So welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. We'll wait just another minute or so here. All right, Samantha asks, what's the most common mistake that you see? The most common mistake that I see is people trying to do everything, right? Again, we talked about, like, you can do all the things, you just can't do all the things at once. So there's a lot of people who said, okay, I want to have a course, and I want to do coaching, and I want to do consulting, and I want to have a podcast, and I want to have a course, and I want to do blogging, and I want to have an email, and I want to do all the things. That's great. That's great. Can't do them all at once. Okay. So something's going to come first. Something's going to come last. And I'm no different. There's things in my business where I was like, I'd like to do that. Ooh, that'd be fun. We have that like shiny object syndrome of let's try this. Ooh, this would be fun. But I have to say, no, like, we can do that someday, but right now we have to focus on this. And so that the common mistake that a lot of speakers make is they try to do all the things. You can't do all the things. So be really, really clear. And that's what we want to help you narrow it down. Because oftentimes for people, they're going, I know I need to narrow down. I don't even know what my options are. I don't even know quite where to begin. And so that's what Beyond the Stage is for, is to help you narrow that down. Patty asks, is there more insurance or liability that is that's needed if you expand your speaking business to other income streams? No, for the most part, no. Now, obviously, this is going to depend, and I'm not an insurance salesman or anything like that. So, so take this for what it's worth. There's no like major insurance needs that we would suggest that you would need to have. But actually, let me pull this up here. We did a podcast episode recently talking all about insurance. It is going to be episode 188. 188. I'm going to drop a link in the chat there, but check that out. That episode is all about insurance and liability. Samantha asks, how happy is your wife now that you're home more? Most days she's happy. There's some days where she's like, don't you have a trip to go on or somewhere to go? And so I don't know, maybe I'm driving her crazy or something. All right. Well, hey, if there's no other questions, we will go ahead and wrap up. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate it. I know that you're busy. I know that you have a lot going on. Like I said, this fast action bonus, this one-on-one video coaching call, this is going to go away just a couple minutes. Okay. We're going to give you till 15 minutes past the hour. So that's about another 4 minutes. And then that is going away. So also remember that the promo code Beyond20 expires tomorrow at 3:00 Central Time. Okay. So 3:00 Central Time, that bonus will be going away. So don't miss it. All right. Again, thanks for being here. Hope you guys have a great rest of the evening. We'll talk soon. You're awesome.